Hello everyone, welcome to Plushie Wednesday. I'm Sue, this is my channel and so happy to have you here. Anyone who may be new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy my content and stick around for a while. I look awful. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see, any new news on the home front? Well, couple little things. Just returned from the pharmacy, got my COVID shot for the year. I know, a lot of people don't like them, don't believe in them, and all that stuff. But I'm going to be 74 years old in a couple of months, and I'm a diabetic. And it's highly recommended for people my age, especially with diabetes, to get these shots. So I do them. I'm not going to take a chance. I'm just not. If I trust my doctor completely, and if she says you should do this, I do it. So it's no hair off my chest. I never have a reaction from it. Doesn't make me sick. Blah, 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 blah. So that's done, out of the way. I don't like getting shots any more than anybody else does, but man, it seems like I'm constantly being stuck by a needle. Stuck by a needle. So January is my month of doctor appointments. Gosh, I cannot believe how many appointments I've had this month and still have. I have one tomorrow. I have one Monday. And then I think that's it for January. But this week on Monday, so my gastroenterologist, because it's been over 5 years, so you know what that means. My brother died from colon cancer. So that puts me more at risk. And my age and blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff. So have to go for that test. Yep, it's not fun. But you know what? It's not all that bad. And if it protects me, great. I also have a little bit of problems with GERD, heartburn. And a few years back, well, quite a few years back now, it had been so bad that I got an ulcer on my esophagus. So I had to be on medication for a couple of years to get that to go away. I know 2 people who recently passed away from esophageal cancer, and I'm not going to take a chance. So along with a colonoscopy, I get an EGD, endoscopy, to check, to make sure everything is good in there. I don't care, I'm asleep, I don't feel nothing. No sore throat afterwards. Better safe than sorry, that's what I say. And I love my GI doctor. He's such a sweetheart. I wish I saw him more than once every 5 years. I don't have to go back to see him unless there's an issue. And I haven't really have any issues. So do what I have to do. Want to stay healthy. My goal is make it to 90. That's a high goal, right? But if I'm taking after my dad's side of the family, it's possible. It's possible. My dad was 88 when he passed. My sister that passed last year was 89. So I'm next in line. I got a younger brother. So let's beat them and get to 90. That's my goal. It's funny. Ooh, how's the weather where you are? It is cold in Florida. Cold, cold, cold. Today's a little warmer, but I'm so chilled from the last couple of days, it seems I can't warm up. I actually turn the heat on in my house. I never do that. I hate artificial heat. Absolutely hate it. So, but I was that cold. I had to turn it on. I mean, my house got down to 60 degrees. So I didn't make it real hot. I put it up to 67. And this is usually the warmest room in the house. And it is right now 68 degrees in this room. So that's better. That's better. But for those of you who live in the areas, I just watched the news before I came in here, and boy, there's going to be some bad weather this weekend, and I hope you all stay safe. Just stay in your house. You know, that bottle of milk is not that important, or whatever. Just stay in your house. Just stay in your house. If it ice storms and blizzards and everything they're calling for, just be safe. Don't make dumb decisions and go out in that kind of weather. So much can happen. It's dangerous. So my prayers will be with everybody that it's not as bad as they predict. I lived in New England for most of my life, and boy, those weathermen sure like to make things sound like we were all going to be killed by these storms. And of course, very seldom did it come to light. Except in 1978. 1978, I was at work. I worked with my sister-in-law at this company, and I think it was lunchtime, and we looked out the window and it was snowing. It was snowing. Well, for any of you who are familiar, 1978 in New England was the worst snowstorm ever in the United States. And it was the blizzard of 78. And my little tiny state of Rhode Island, on my little tiny street, we got 5 feet of snow. And we were snowed in for days. And it was so bad that the plows that the city I lived in could not handle the snow. And Buffalo, New York actually sent snow plows down to help plow us out. And because I lived on a little street, almost like a dead end, we were one of the last ones to get plowed out. And there was a little corner at the end of the street. As they rounded the corner, we were in the second house, and that giant plow came around that corner, and it just looked like a giant wave of snow in front of that plow. It was incredible. Of course, it made the snowbanks on each side of the road even worse because, you know, you're plowing out 5 feet of snow. It was crazy. But once they did that, we were able to get out a little bit. Not really drive because it was still dangerous, but I had a couple elderly people who lived near me. The couple upstairs from me were older, and I had a two-year-old son at the time. And I got out my little sled and dressed him up nice and warm, and we walked several blocks over to a store that was open, that had some vegetables and a few little things, and I took orders from the people in my house and went out and tried to get stuff that I could bring back to everybody. It was kind of fun though. It was different. It was different. My husband had a Chevy Blazer. It's a 4-wheel drive. They were big back then. And the police, I don't know how they found out he had this. I guess they must have checked what vehicles people had. But they contacted him and wanted him to come to the police station. They actually sent people out to help him dig out the Blazer because it was totally covered in snow. You couldn't even see it. And he went down to the police station, and he was there for over 2 days. Helping to transport people, mainly employees at hospitals, nurses and doctors who could not drive there. He would have to go and get them and bring them to the hospital and pick up people who had to come home. And that's what he did, 24 hours a day for over 2 days. They had told him when they called him in, and several other people, you know, people were traveling on snowmobiles to get to the hospital to work. It was crazy. But they had told him they'd pay him $25 an hour to do this. And that was a lot of money for us back in 1978. And so he stayed as long as they needed him. And they never paid him. Never gave him a penny. Nothing. I don't remember if they paid for the gas for the truck. I hope they did. I don't remember. Too long ago. But anyhow, it was quite an experience. It snowed for 3 solid days. It just snowed and snowed and snowed. Never saw anything like that. Saw a lot of snow when I was young. Snowed a lot more back then. You know, climate is changing and we don't get as much as we used to, but never like that. But you can read about it. It's on Wikipedia. Blizzard of 78. Worst snowstorm in United States history. Yay, we're popular for something. A snowstorm. I have a friend who is a singer. And we used to go and see him every now and again. That's how we became a friend. And he made a song called Blizzard of 78. And they actually played it on the radio and stuff. I might even have that song. I'm pretty sure I have that song someplace. But it was so funny. It was very dangerous. Lots of people got stuck on the highways, tried to get home, and they couldn't. And the cars that were left on highways and people who passed away from it. And I don't know. So anyway, stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. It's not worth going out when the weather gets like that, especially if it's a nice storm. So anyway, that's that. But I have some news. I have some news for all of you who have been bugging, in a nice way, me to make a pattern or put out a pattern for that little dust bunny. Well, I did it. I did it for you. It's testing right now and it should be out next week. And it'll be a free pattern on Instagram. And I had Dusty name it. I was going to name it Grumpy's Dust Bunny, but he didn't want that. He wanted its name to be Dusty. How original. But on Instagram on the 29th, it'll be free. And you can go and grab your pattern or there if you want to make one. And I'll tell you, my testers are phenomenal. Phenomenal. They are coming up with some really unique dust bunnies, and I love it. I love it. I love the creativity and everybody's different take on it, and we're just having a blast. So because of you, I did this. I probably will never make another pattern in my life, but it was fun. I was nervous about it, but I want to say and give a humongous thank you to Beth, who is Scarlet Garden Crochet here on YouTube and Instagram. She DM'd me on Instagram and offered to help me with the pattern because I had absolutely no idea how to make it. I wrote up the pattern. I took photographs, that kind of stuff. But to put it so it looked nice, I had no clue how to do that. I'm no pro in Canva or anything like that. I use Canva to make my thumbnails for these videos. But that's about it. That's about it. So, Beth, from the bottom of my heart, you did a fantastic job with the information I sent you. I sent her the pattern that I wrote out, and I sent her the photographs I took, and she went to town with it, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And it's so me. It's so me, the style of it. It's not cutesy, cutesy, cutesy. It's more my type of style. Because of my age. I'm not a little kid. I'm not going to put little kid stuff out there. So, great job, Beth. I appreciate it. And I don't know what more I can say. I'll start crying because I am so grateful for all your help. So, kudos to Beth. Kudos to Beth. All right. I have a few plushies for you. I have a big market coming up in February. And it's 2 days. And it's outside. And I'm nervous. I'm very nervous about it. I'm nervous that I won't have enough inventory for 2 days. But it was more or less sign up for 2 days or you can't get in. So I did it. So I did it. But Grumpy says, hey, if we sell out the first day, we just don't come back the second day. What are you going to come back with? You got nothing. So I put out all my plushies on the guest bed yesterday. And I went, oh, I don't think this is enough. So I'm going to be busy the next couple of weeks. But I'm slow. I'm slow. You know, this is... And I've said this so many times, but if you're new here, this is a hobby. This is a hobby to keep me busy. I do not like to sit in front of the TV and just watch TV. I have to be busy. I have to be doing something. And I've been crocheting for well over 50 years, and I love it. And it's just a hobby. And going to markets at this stage in our lives, where we're dependent on Social Security every month, this gives me the money to support my hobby. So I do them, and I enjoy them. I really enjoy it. I love the interaction, everything. I've said this before. I know it's kind of repetitive, but, you know, it's not a business for me. It's just a hobby. And I just love making the plushies and seeing all these new designers. And my style is my style. I'm more a cutesy maker than a, I don't know, cartoon characters. Well, I do some. I do some. I do Pikachu, and I do Stitch and Angel and whatever that other one is, the green doll. I forget her name. And I do Bluey. I used to do Bingo, but Bingo didn't sell, so I just make little Blueys now to have something a little inexpensive. But now I'm hooked on splooters. Oh my gosh, I love splooters so much. So much. I have my tissue close by because I'm cold. So my nose gets a little runny. Sorry about that. And I'm not cutting that out. Oh, and before I came in here, Teddy was barking. Grumpy's out doing a couple of errands. And I could tell by the sound of his bark that he was barking at a squirrel. So I went out to get him, to put him in his crate so he's quiet while I try to do this. And the last couple of days in this cold, a little squirrel comes onto my patio and looks in my sliding glass door. And the other day, when it did it for the first time like that, I just felt so bad for him. I do have seed that I throw out for the birds and sunflower seeds that squirrels love. And I do that every now and again. And it's so cold. It was so cold. I said, I have to give them some seeds. They're hungry. You know, I just felt bad. So I did. I threw seeds. Well, that's what was happening again today. He came back. He was hungry again. So I'm not going to give him any seeds today because I did give them some yesterday, and I don't want them to get used to me doing that. But I love them. They're so cute. I have a big tree that I can see from where I sit and crochet, and they live in that tree, and the way they chase each other around, and I don't know. I just get a lot of pleasure from watching them. I know a lot of people don't like squirrels, but I do. I do, and I get a big kick out of it. When you live in a development like me, you don't get a whole heck of a lot of wildlife. You know, I think I've seen snakes twice in 15 years. I saw a possum cross my yard. I see traces of possums or armadillos, I'm not sure which one, that have dug holes on the side of my house where they burrow. But I don't see a lot of, because I live in a development. I have a house right there. right on the side of me and on the other side. But, so whatever I have, which are squirrels, a couple of little visiting rats, they're gone now. And I didn't do anything to them. They just left. And birds. And that's about it. We sure have a lot of birds in Florida. Let's get on to these few plushies I made this week. I was really lazy this week. I didn't crochet Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think. Again. I don't even remember when I started crocheting. Anyhow, I got a letter, an email from someone. I think her name was Rosa. And she asked me if I would like to make a frog pattern that she made. And she would give me the pattern. Year of the Frog. I said that last year, that they say frogs are going to be a big thing this year. So I said, sure, I'll give them a try when I have a chance. And I did. And it ended up being one of my favorite frogs to make, of the smaller versions, because of its feet. And the designer's name on Instagram is Vasq, VASQ boutique on Instagram. And this is a frog. Isn't he adorable? And what I love about him are his legs. Look at those legs and his little feet. Look. Love it. Look, quick make. Quick make. I can whip these out pretty quick, and I don't crochet quick. So if you're a fast crocheter, you'll be done this thing in 20 minutes. And I don't remember what his name is, but I have looked for this pattern. I've looked in Etsy because her page says she has an Etsy page. I could not find it. And I did not see anything on her Instagram page. So I will still put a link to her Instagram page below. And if you're interested in this frog, maybe you can find it. I don't know. I did not have luck finding it. She said she was testing it. So I don't know. I don't know if she includes me as a tester. She did not say that when she sent me the pattern. But I think he's so cute. I really like him a lot. Couple little things in the pattern, in case you find it and want to do it. You do the bobble stitches for the eyes and for the legs. But she didn't say how many stitches to put in it. So I didn't know if it was 4 or 5 stitches for her bobbles. So on this one, I used 4. And I think the eyes could have been a little larger, just because of the size of him, because he's very chunky. And what else did I find? Oh, the bottom is flat, as you can see, so he sits really, really nicely. But she ended it with 16 open stitches and just said follow off and leave a tail and didn't say what to do. So for beginners, they probably wouldn't know how to, close a hole like that. That's a lot of stitches to pull closed. So I sent her an email and told her about a couple of little things I was concerned about in the pattern. So she says she took notes. I don't know if she's changing anything or not. But anyhow, I think he's an awesome frog. I liked him so much. I made another one. But I've never made a brown one, so I wanted to make a brown one. So here's my other guy. And this one, I used 5 stitches in the bobbles. So he's a little bit bigger. He came out a little bit bigger altogether from that one. I don't know why. They both use the new Parfait. Oh my gosh, my brain is squashed. Parfait plush yarn. And 16 millimeter eyes. But look at those legs and feet. I love them. my favorite legs on a frog. Love it. That was a little confusing too, doing those. It wasn't really clear in the pattern. So I did them differently 2 times and wrote back to her and asked her, because I didn't know if all 3 of these go in the same stitch or if they go in separate stitches. So I did them both ways. This one, they're all in the same stitch. This one, I used 3 separate stitches, and I think the one in 1 stitch looks much better, but that was not told in the pattern. So great frog. I'll probably make a couple more from markets, and because it's so quick and easy to do. So the market I'm doing next month is a strawberry festival, and I figured I better get a couple of strawberry things made because I have nothing strawberry. And so last night I sat and made all from Jade's mod for a strawberry turtle, and that mod is on her Instagram, but you need her turtle pattern in order to make it, because you're making the whole turtle, you're just switching up colors and making leaves for the top. And I'll put a link to her turtle pattern on Instagram that you need for this, and for the mod on Instagram if you want to make a strawberry turtle. She also, in the modification, has a blueberry turtle, but I've already made my own blueberry turtles, so I didn't need that one. But the strawberry one, this is it. These are the colors she used, except this. She had a much darker green, but I wanted to use the goblin. So I used Parfait Chunky, and it's a good size. It's a good size, and 20mm eyes. I put green eyes to match the leaves, but isn't it cute? It's cute. So I'll probably make some strawberry keychains if I find a good strawberry pattern. I don't know what else I can do with strawberries. So if you have ideas for strawberries, I don't want to do an overabundance of strawberry things, but since it is that kind of festival, I want to do a few different things. I'm going to make another one of these, but in different colors. So maybe a green body and a red. I'm afraid that'll look Christmassy though. I don't know. And a red shell. I don't know. But everything will be below as normal. But that's my strawberry turtle. I think he's cute. I think he's cute. And then I did a test for wooleytunes. I've tested for her before. I tested big items for her before and medium items for her. And now I'm testing a little item for her. She's a fantastic designer, absolutely fantastic designer. And if you're into anime and that type of stuff, she does a lot of those things, and they are incredible, incredible patterns. This that we tested this time, she did a series called her wood collection. So it would be like woodland creatures. And I put in, and I don't know how many she has, 3, 6, maybe 12, 14 little critters in this collection. And I asked her if she's going to sell them as a collection or separately. And I believe she told me she's going to sell the whole collection or individually. So I forgot to look to see when the release date is. I don't know. But I'll put a link to her Etsy page below. And if I don't remember what when release date is, but if it's before next video, I will put it in the next video. So, well, I'll put it in the next video regardless. But I did this little bee on, this is, she calls it the meadow. To me, it looks like a lily pad. And the flower on the lily pad. And the little bee came to visit. And he's at a nice little slant. I think it's adorable. And so easy and fast. Oh my goodness. I whipped this out in no time. No time. I love how she did the little bee. The little, I'll show you from the back. Little bitty wings. So cute. So cute. No, well, you do have to sew. Yes, there is sewing. You sew the leaves to the meadow, the flower to the leaves, the bee to the flower. But that's it. Easy. Just easy little things. But I think it is so stinking cute. I just love it. I just love it. What do you think? Isn't it pretty? Little bumblebee. Even has legs. I never saw anybody put little bobble legs on a bee before. It's still kind of like the bullet bee type, but just too cute. Too stinking cute. I love it. I love it. Isn't he adorable? I get a kick out of the stuff I make. I really do. And then, of course, you know, the last few weeks I've been making splooters from Shannon snugglebeanscrochet patterns. And I had to make one this week. I just had to. I have a plushie that I make that always sells. Always sells. And from the beginning, from the very first market I did at that hotel 3 years ago, that was a bust. This always sold. It was a little unicorn that I did with white and some colorful mane and everything. Well, Shannon has a unicorn splooter, Una. And lately, Una's been getting a lot of attention because there's been lots of people that I've seen make her. So I said to myself, Sue, instead of making that other one that you always make Shannon's, but use the colors that you bake in the other one. So that's what I did. So I took the colors of the ones that I always make and sell. Never have a problem selling them. And made the splooter. I want to just go back a second and let you know that the frog is made with all parfait chunky, and so is this little critter. It's all parfait chunky. Make sure this. So I made Una, and she's big compared to my other splooters because I made her in Bernat blanket yarn. But I love her. Love her, love her. Look at her. She's a big one. She's a big one. Look how cute she is. Oh my gosh, look at her. Look at her. My big pink eyes on her. This pink was so stiff. Ugh, so disappointed with it. It was hard to work with. But it made a good horn. Made a good horn. It wasn't flopping. The only thing I did differently on this from Shannon's pattern was I made the mane the same way I did it in my other one. It's a bit thinner. This is Shannon's. It's done with half double crochets, and this is the one that I usually make, and it's just single crochets. And I might even, I don't know, I kind of like it off to the side like that. I might make another one to add to it. On my little one, I make 5 of them, but it's a standing up one, so it's got the room for it to hang down. This one really doesn't, so we'll see. And in the tail, I did the tail the same way, like my old one. Just lazy, it's quicker. But it looks great, I think. I love this yarn. Love it, love it. The white was nice and soft and easy to work with. And this is wonderful. I can't remember the name of what it is, but it's Bernat. And that's my Una. And she's a big girl. She's a big girl. Let me see. I did bring out my little zebra again that I did with Parfait Chunky. And I don't know how good you can see the difference in size. Yeah, I'm not very good at doing this stuff. I don't know if you can tell just by, well, maybe just the bodies. Can you see how much bigger? Yeah, turn it around. Bigger, much bigger. So anyhow, that's it. That's what I got done this week. And I'm not apologizing anymore for not making a bunch of stuff, because I'm me and I do what I do. And I want to continue to enjoy what I make. And that's it. So I have no tests at the moment. I did apply to one just because it was different. I don't know if I'll get it. Haven't decided. I have to make things for the market, so I have to do a stitch, and I have to do, oh, I can't think of that doll's name. It comes to me sometimes and doesn't at other times. I have to make that. I already have the angel. So to complete that series, I have to do those. I have to make some blueies. I probably have to make a toothless. But I really, really want to make it different. Just don't know if I'll have time to do what I'd really like to do before this market. It's almost at the end of February, so I have a month to go. So we'll see. So anyhow, wishing you all a very, very happy rest of your week. Please take care of yourselves and be careful with the storms that are supposed to be coming. I want to see you all here next week. Safe. Safe, okay? All righty, everybody. Until next week, keep crocheting.